All right, good people. So as I continue to work myself back into recording in podcast mode, figure let me, a lot of craziness going on in the music world, and I try my best not to tap into it. But I said if I'm gonna do it, let me bring on one of the people I know can help me speak some sense into what's going on, and hopefully, if I can't, we're gonna try to make sense of it. My brother Red, how you doing? Long time no see, long time no hear from. How's everything?
Man, everything is indeed everything. I won't complain too much. I mean, not too many people would care to hear it anyway. It probably makes some good damn content, but nonetheless, everything is everything, man. It's an honor to be asked, to come join you to dust off this microphone, man. It's been a minute, so yeah, definitely, it's an honor.
Hey, I don't forget my people. Once we lock in, we lock in. I
We
mean,
locked in.
it
Yeah,
started during the pandemic and everything, and I say keep it going. I keep in touch. I always tell people, everybody that I rock with, I keep in touch behind the scenes. So it doesn't matter.
definitely.
We still talk. Something quick conversations here and there. Don't matter. We still keep in contact. So.
And that's all it takes, man. I mean, once you lock in with real solid people,
Mm.
you may go a day, you may go a week, hell, you may go a month or two. But if you really genuine and you really solid, once you lock in, it's right back to where it started. So definitely, we stay in touch. We
Yeah.
definitely stay in touch, and to 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 get asked, it was a no brainer, a complete no brainer to come dust off this mic for you, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it. Totally appreciate it. So, so you also, and I'm gonna just ask this question early. So, the Code Red podcast, are you thinking about coming back? Is it on complete hiatus? What are you doing with your podcast?
What am I doing? What are we doing? It's been talks.
Mhm.
It has been talks. Not 100% sure where things are gonna go right now, and it's crazy. You mentioned that it all kind of began with the pandemic, where everybody had so much time on their hands. Everybody was trying to figure out what to do, and it started booming. Not to say that podcasting wasn't around before the pandemic, but pandemic dropped, everybody dropped the podcast.
Mhm.
Everybody hopped on it, and we rode the wave. But as life started reverting back to normal and getting back into the office and back into the work world, things have just been chaotic and trying to find the time and make the time. So um I don't know what's in the folds right now. I will say this: I've had a couple of opportunities to sit in and do a podcast here and there, or be a guest on one, and it's almost like a tattoo. You
Yeah.
get that first one and you want another. So man, dusting this mic off, it might make me want to keep the dust off of it.
Hey, we gonna do our best. Like I said, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. So like I said, and shout out to Dolomite, and shout out to Smash, who they're still going. I said I
Yeah,
see what they're doing, and I'm like, I need to get back on, and do what I'm doing. But like you said, life getting back to normal.
right.
It was just a lot. So shout out to them for keeping their stuff going, throughout all of this. I don't know how they do it, but kudos to them for continuing to do it.
Definitely, definitely.
So, all right. So for the sake of time, we're not gonna rush through this, but it's a lot of shit to run through, and not to go back so far, but outside here with Kendrick and J. Cole, with all of the so-called beefs, everything going on now, do you think that this was Kendrick had this in mind to kind of get rappers back to rapping?
I don't think that it was truly a ploy to get rappers back to rapping. I think that he threw his shot to throw his shot. Like he shot, because I mean stuff has been coming,
Hmm.
but I think that, or let me go back. I won't say that it's been coming, because the stuff that came out, it was all more so recognition and saying, hey, we are the ones. we're the real ones. We're the big three as a term that was utilized that I think that really just rubbed him the wrong way. The term of being the big three. And I think that their beef is more so about recognition.
Mm, okay.
And when you get individuals that, as I think the adage used to be, say everybody wants to be a chief and it's not enough Indians.
Hmm.
And I think that that's what it is. It's, Drake has the fame and the notoriety. Kendrick's got the fame and the notoriety. Cole's got the fame and the notoriety. But nobody wants to quote unquote be second. Nobody wants to be okay with being third. And I think that that's truly what it is. You know, not to kind of mix genres, but or yeah, genres. You look at sports.
Hmm.
You've got to have a superior quarterback, a superior wide receiver, running back, and somebody solid on the defensive side. They don't say, "Well, hey, I'm the absolute best of this whole team."
Hmm.
They're okay with it. They can gel and they can mesh well. You put it all together. You get your solid point guard. You get your solid center. You get your solid forward. You can make some things happen. They all mesh well. But when you've got three people going for that same top spot, wanting to be the number one MC, wanting to be the number one entertainer, wanting to have the fame, egos get involved. And I think that that's truly what that stems from. I think that it was solely based upon ego. I think that the stuff that Cole had to say and the stuff that Drake came out and said, it was all given recognition for all three of them. But however, Kendrick didn't get to the limelight that I feel that he felt that he wanted to be in. And what better way to do it than to say, you know what? Damn a big three. It's me.
Mm.
I'm tired of, is it Cole, Kendrick, or me? No, it's me. It's me. So that's it. That was his pick me. Like that was his pick me.
But I think it's crazy all because you can't. And this is just my thing. It's just similar to, and I know it's a little different with Kendrick, but I compare it to like Andre 3000. Everybody wants to put him and he's one of the greatest ever, but I'm just like he doesn't and he hasn't released anything. I'm like that's like putting Jay Electronica in your top. He's good at what he does, but there's not enough work there. And that's sort of like what Kendrick does. You put out a project and you take 3-4 years off, whatever it is. And then regardless of what people are saying about J. Cole now, for a year straight, J. Cole has been on everybody's feet,
Everybody's featured.
everybody
Yep.
project and did his thing on every feature that he was
Every
on.
murdered him. And in all honesty, he stepped on a lot of cats. Like you listen to some songs that Cole is on, and it's like you forget the other artists. You forget the main artist. Hey, I'm listening to this verse. I want to listen to Cole's verse. That's it. And I'm I'm biased.
Mhm.
I'm biased. I have I'll listen to Drake. I will openly admit that I will listen to Drake. I am not a Drake fan. I
Mhm.
am not a huge fan of Drake whatsoever, to say the least. Um, so out of the big three that they say, um, to me, I make my judgment off of Cole and Kendrick.
Yeah.
I'm a Kendrick fan, but I am more of a fan of Cole. I like his presentation, his delivery, his wordplay. He's a true lyricist,
Mhm.
and I like his style. Cole don't fuck with nobody.
Yeah.
He don't fuck with nobody. And they poked the bear and made this man come out. And hey, hey,
But I think the crazy thing is too, and I'm the same. I'm nowhere close to a Drake fan at all. But I mean, for me, I can relate more to J. Cole than I can Kendrick.
yeah,
So, and for the most part, that's how people listen to stuff, regardless of how you feel. I'm not saying Kendrick is trash, nothing like that.
yeah,
But
definitely not saying that at all.
I can definitely relate more to what J. Cole is saying. I didn't come up in the streets. I don't know none of the gangs, all that. I hear what he's saying. I can,
Yeah.
thanks to the first 48 and all the shows like that, I know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I can't speak firsthand what J. Cole is rapping about. I can definitely speak to firsthand knowledge of that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't
No,
get,
completely understood. And I think that's what most people do. I mean, you pick the person or you listen to who you can relate to, who's spitting stuff that you can I feel that I can relate to that. I've lived that. I've experienced some of that in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Mhm.
Um, I won't say that you completely go after listening to somebody that you know for a fact is giving you make believe. Do I think that Aubrey's a gangster? Hell no. Ain't no way Wheelchair Jimmy was gang banging with nobody. Absolutely not. Do I think whoever he has as a pen is a hell of a lyricist and a hell of a storyteller? Yeah, outstanding work, whoever his pen is. And I mean, with all of the stuff that's coming out now, we're getting to see some of his pen, who his pens are.
Mhm.
The one cat that supposedly did a lot of his work that somehow they fell out because he wanted recognition and then they beat the kid up in the studio. I mean, it, he's a showman. He has great showmanship. He is
Mhm.
a entertainer. That is what he is. Rapper, lyricist, nah, he's an entertainer.
And I think that's where a lot of people get it confused, calling him the greatest and all this nonsense. Cool. Like I said, you can deliver. That's what it is. You can deliver.
Yeah.
But sort of like we were talking about right before we got on here. I'm gonna play this clip. I hope it doesn't get bleeped out or anything. But I'll hurry up and play. But it's crazy how people always want to put him in the top tier and all this other stuff and find reasons to knock other people down, but won't do the same for him. Let me see if this is gonna play.
That's what you're scared of.
All right.
You should be scared of an artist that knows how to write his own records, but also chooses to use other people.
And why do you say that?
Because that means his mind, his ceiling is high. It's way over where you thinking. He's achieving a perfection and he wants a position in music that's not something you may even understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like he know he can do it, but he know with these collective minds in a room,
It's like
I can
Infinity
get something.
Stones. It's
Yeah,
like
you know what I
Thanos.
mean? Yeah, you know. To me,
like
you
that.
should.
So anyway, that was an interview that Twister did on Hot 97. And I'm just be the first to come out and say, well, not the first. I'm gonna come out and say it. That's total bullshit with with Ebro, what
Yeah.
Twister saying. Because and shout out to my people in the commission. I'm in a group on IG with a bunch of hip hop heads that love the group, and they post different things like this. But I'll say this: if I'm pissed off, that's like me calling you saying, "Hey, I'm pissed off. Write something for me." I'm telling you how I feel, and I expect you to convey my exact emotion in that moment. That's bullshit. You can't do that. I don't care what Twister says.
Yeah, you 100% can't because at the end of the day, the pure raw emotion alone, nobody can feel 100% what you feel. They can understand the feeling that you convey to them, but they can't feel what you feel. And when they go to, putting that pen to paper, oh, I'm just writing something that's gonna be fire, that's gonna come out. But it's not your true feeling or true delivery. And if you are that talented or that gifted, as Twister should say, that hey, you should fear the person that can do it themselves, but instead goes and gets somebody to do it. The fuck out of here with that, man. No, if you can do it yourself, you do it yourself. Flat out. The only thing that I say that you don't do yourself is these NFL cats, these NBA cats, hell, even these rappers. Don't go tote a gun and go get a body yourself.
Hmm.
You go get your entourage to something to do that. But when it come to getting in the paint to what you're supposed to be doing, you go get it done yourself. Just straight up, you go do it yourself. Hey, this man went in the booth and he did it himself. You get in the booth and you go do it yourself, and let the chips fall where they may. I feel that if a person has to go get a pen to do it for them, then obviously you're not confident in your craft. You're not good enough to go stand up in the paint and get it done. If you've got to go get somebody to do it for you, and the way that I'm quite sure all of us have been raised, everybody ain't won every fight.
Nope.
But the way that you get to a point to where you can stand and hold your own, You get your ass whooped a couple times. And once you get tired of getting your ass whooped, you're gonna figure out a way to hold your own. So hey, you know what? You drop a track in this trash, he comes and drops another one, you go drop another one until you get to a point where you can hold your own. But you don't go get somebody to do it for you. Nah, that I ain't cool with that. And that's why I say when Drake had the beef with Meek and Meek called him out about the ghostwriting, I rode with Meek on that because of the fact that hey, it's true. Meek hopping that booth, he doing his thing on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the track come out trash or not, hey, he holding his own. He's not going to get a pen to do it for him.
That's like, that I could kind of equate that to. That's sort of like I don't even want to use that because that's gonna sound dated. But I mean that's just like you going to fight somewhere. I'll be back and you go get somebody, you fighting for me, and then you online talking shit to me. I knocked the motherfucker out. You didn't knock
You
nobody.
ain't do shit.
You were
Yeah,
there, but you ain't knocking nobody out.
yeah. You can't do that, man. And I I can't stand for that. And honestly, I really think that this was it the push. I think the name of the track is Push Ups.
Hmm.
I think that's why it took a minute for it to drop. He had to get them cats to write this song. I don't think that that's his true feelings. I think that at the end of the day, he's just what he is. He's an actor. He is an entertainer, and he has delivery. He's given delivery, and that's what he did. He waited for his script to be written, and he went and he acted his ass off. That's the gist of it.
I know this might be a bit of a stretch, and I'm sure somebody will say it's a stretch, but he's, at least from the way I look at it, not so much on the street shit, but some of it is. But he's sort of like 6'9", minus the snitching shit.
Mm,
Sort of like
yeah,
6'9". You
yeah,
surround yourself with all these gangsters, all this other craziness, with whoever Drake surround himself with. And now you claiming you did all this, you gonna do this, you gonna do that.
yep,
That's not you. If you
yeah.
the quiet kid, you could be a
Be okay with being that.
yeah, that just stay in your lane. That shit was cool. You want to sing, you want to dance, do that. There's nothing
Yep.
wrong with it. Ain't nobody else doing it. They could
You
make
had your
they could talk
you
all
had
the
your
shit they
own
want.
fan base.
They
You
could
had
talk
your
all the
own,
shit they want about Hammer. Hammer set all sorts of records when he came out.
when he did his thing and he stuck to what was him. Yeah.
Dance, rap,
So
he did his own thing. And if Drake, if that's your lane, stay over there. Leave the
stay in it.
ghostwriters out of it. I
Yeah.
mean, if you hey, you could be corny. They could call Chance the Rapper corny all they want. He's stuck. He stays in his lane. He does what he does.
Yeah, and he don't veer from it, because that's what it is. He's not a drill rapper. He's not that dude, and he doesn't go off to portray that. But you get Buddy that wants to fit in every genre, in every crowd, in every avenue, because you feel like, hey, I'm taking over the game with it by doing this. Nah, just be you. But that's a whole nother episode that we can get into about just everything where people just don't want to be them. They're not okay with being them. And I don't feel that that young man, that young Canadian, is not okay with being him.
Like I said, he wants to do everything. He wants to do reggae. He wants to do pop. He wants to
Yeah.
I don't see nobody running from no pop artist. You know what I
No,
mean?
not at all. And I mean, you mentioned a statement or a term earlier. You said you didn't want to sound dated. But if we go back to those cats that that were lyricists that we listened to, that started hip hop, that were rappers, the true MCs, they weren't out here trying to do crossover joints.
Mm-mm.
They weren't out here trying to, get on there and sing melodies and all that. No, they was about spitting. It was about the lyrics. They were about the flow. They were about the delivery. Hey, I want the number one rap album. I don't want to, be pop. I don't want to get a crossover audience. My audience is the people that can feel this and that can understand that,
Mm-mm.
not the posers.
So let me ask you this then. So with all of the beef, one part of this, and tell me how you feel about it, and tell me if you think I'm wrong. So with all of this that started with Kendrick and Drake, and then J. Cole, with everybody now hopping on from the They said Pusha T might be coming out with something else. Kanye coming out with something else. How do you feel about? I think it's corny. That's just me. Now that everybody wants to jump in and now you want to attack Drake, like he's been there forever. He hasn't been any. He hasn't left the spotlight since he came out. So I think it's corny only because it's like, oh, now y'all want to pile on when you had the opportunity to do it yourself. Why now? So how do you feel about that?
So I'm not a huge fan of bandwagoning. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I will say that it's coming this way because of the simple fact that he asked for it.
Mhm.
When you give the term, or you make this, or you make the statement, it's 20v1, or it's 20 versus 1, and he's not referring to the little YouTube skits that are out there. He's referring to all of these rappers that are out there, and he's like basically saying, hey, come on, take your best shot. So when you put that challenge out there, I think what's the guy from Terrence Howard? He say, you keep knocking at the devil's door, somebody's bound to answer. Well, when you make that statement, it's 20 versus 1, you got to expect all 20 of them are come at you. So you gotta have your clip loaded. And and we'll touch on that too. If you put something out there, as I say, that your clip better be loaded. Because you gotta expect it, especially if you're saying 20 versus 1, you got 20 tracks that's gonna come at you. Hopefully. You got 20 people that's prepared to come at you. And if you think back on all of it, it ain't just begin now. People have been coming at him. Breezy, Chris Brown came at him. If you go back to the RIP remix,
Mhm.
Chris Brown spit on that track way, and he was gunning at Drake then. Meek, people have continuously always been coming at him. Now, not has anybody been victorious? Not so much. So, but I guess that's also because of he's built that base, he's built that image, he's built that brand of the crossover. So your 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 Caucasians aren't going to turn from him because of the simple fact of, oh well, Kendrick Lamar said this about Drake. Well, we still love him. You've got your teens, you've got the women, and that are crazy about him, and we still love him. So that stuff isn't going to change anything. So it's in that regard, when you've got it, when you've built that much stardom and that much notoriety about yourself, it's hard to take that image down. The only thing that would ever, I think, at the end of the day, that would only truly take him down is some form of a scandal.
Mhm.
If he ends up on these damn tapes with Sean Combs somewhere, I think that might be his demise. But somebody coming at him lyrically, maybe not. Unless it's somebody within his camp that has felt like they've been held down up under his limelight for too long, and they know some ins and outs, and they really come out and air him out.
Mhm.
Other than that, I kind of sadly say that it's not much that anyone's gonna ever be able to do to really take him down. And I'm not even hoping that anyone takes him down, but it's just like true people that truly know music and truly know artistry and know hip hop, know rap. If you hear the right track that comes against what he's saying, you'll be able to tell the difference. You'll be able to weed through the bullshit. You'll be able to weed through this ain't really his life. He's just spitting something, but this cat here spit this from the heart.
Mhm. He
So
at
that's
the,
what
at
I
the
look for.
I was about to say at the end of the day, he sounds like the spoiled kid in the yard. I'm gonna take my ball and go home. Because if it get too
Yeah,
crazy in the rap lane, you could jump over here, you could do pop, you could go back to singing, doing all of that, and drop a little verse here and there whenever.
yeah.
And that's the part that I think kind of, I don't know, disconnects me from him. Like I said, I don't like the fact that when you do that, then all right, I'm not gonna put out an album, I'm gonna put out a R&B something. I'm gonna step back over here. So you flip.
Hmm.
You're not really
Yeah.
in like most of these. other artists. But back to something that you said. So with him inviting all of these rappers to come at him and all of that stuff, I know it's gonna be hard for us to answer this, but do you think that his ghostwriters are ready for this much response? Because they can craft something to where he can respond to multiple people in one song, but
Right.
if it's gonna keep coming, they gotta be ready
Which
to
is what he did with push-ups. Which is what he did with push-ups is he literally he went at like 10 cats in that song. He went at them, and I really believe it's like, hey, the time that it took for him to drop that and put that out is what they did. They sat in there, okay, this is what we're gonna lead off with. Here's our response. Here for this person if he drops something. Here's our response for this person if he drops. And that, I think that's too why he's continuously poking the bear and with the memes and trolling Kendrick. Come on, drop something. Come on, drop something. Because he's sitting on a track that he's waiting to drop right behind it. That was my true feelings about Kendrick.
Mhm.
Kendrick wasn't gonna spit that verse on like that. And you can't spit that verse and not expect J. Cole to come back. You can't spit that verse and not expect Drake to come back. Because if they come back, you gotta have something to come right behind it.
Mhm.
I will say I am highly disappointed that we have not gotten anything as of yet. And I think the perfect question came up today is at this point, is it gonna be strong enough? Because so much time has gone by.
Mhm.
It's like at this point, yeah, you missed your window, I feel. Unless you come out with something that just leaves people stuck at a red light while they're trying to get to work and their jaw is just dropped and they let this red light cycle again and it's back red again. Unless you come with something like that, at this point, you lost momentum. It's yeah, we ain't interested in your response no more. I definitely want us to touch on too, because I want your thoughts on the apology and the removal of the track.
I'll say this, so we could just walk right into that because I think I understand, and somebody said it. I don't. It might have been somebody in the commission group, or it might have been Dell. It might have been Dell. It might have been somebody, but I know somebody said something along the line. I see, I see both sides of it, where it didn't fit. According to what he said it didn't. Something just didn't sit right with him. With him being a deep introspective person, and all of that, maybe that's he needed that. Maybe he truly felt something. Now, as far I think it was Charlemagne, actually, now that I think about it, that said it. But now from the music side of it, loving music, all forms of music, and all this other shit, I get the disappointment also of some people. Where it was like, oh man, we thought we was gonna get, thought we was gonna get 12 rounds of, Kendrick and Cole going back and forth. So I see both sides of it, and I I, I think for Cole to, I don't even think he has to redeem himself, but for the people that are disappointed in it, I think he just has to drop a good solid project. And I think, it'll kind of wash over. People aren't going to let it go that he apologized. But I think if he drops a solid project, I think, in a little while, they'll forget about it. So what are your thoughts on it?
So I get it. I do. When you have respect and admiration for a guy, especially that you've done nothing, you've never slighted him, you've always just said, hey, y'all were in the top echelon. Y'all were in the top tier of those that are out there right now. So I don't ever, I think back to A side tracks and B side tracks, and I can't think of any to where he just came out and he dissed Kendrick. So for Kendrick to come out and do that, get your lick back.
Hmm.
Don't feel sorry about it, because if you felt the urge to get in there and put that out and to put it on wax, it's what you felt. Yeah, you may feel remorse in the end, but hey, ain't no taking it back because he took it there. If you want to really take the high road, take it from the jump. But once you, it's like breaking the suit of the suit of spades. Once it hit the table, it's on the board. You
Hmm.
got to leave it there. You got to ride with it. Even if you catch that mistake and you throw that spade out and you know you done broke trump or you broke suit, hey, you better not wince. You better not wink. You better not give any indication that, oh, I feel bad about doing this. Ride with it. And I think that's what he should have did. If you want to apologize, hey, you know what? Hit his line. Because you can't tell me you don't have it.
Hmm.
Hey, this out there, this is how I truly feel. It came out in some anger, but hey, it's nothing but love and respect. Let's bring hip hop back. Let's bring music back. I'll respect whatever you drop. I may come back behind you, but let's do it solely for the love of music. And I think that that's how it should have been done. For me, I potentially think that actually he'll still have his fan base, but I think it'll put a scarlet letter on him.
Yeah.
I think that it'll, at this point, anything else that he drops, it'll be questioned. He'll be questioned. And you stand for something or you fall for anything, and I respect him for standing on his morals. I definitely respect him on that. If that's what you truly feel about yourself and you felt that, hey, this this made me look smaller.
Hmm.
This is, by me doing this or stooping to this level, it made me look smaller. I respect that. I do wholeheartedly respect it. But in beef, you rock with that shit. You came with it, let it fly.
Yeah, because
Let it fly.
I don't think I would have. Because I think he could have apologized, like I said, privately, publicly, whatever you want to do. He said as a man, he wanted to do it publicly. I get that, but I wouldn't have
Yeah.
taken it. I wouldn't have deleted it. It would have been out there.
No, it
Just
would have
like
stayed out there.
that's just like if Jay-Z and Nas apologized to each other after Ether, Super Ugly, and all
Yeah.
that craziness. Like it's out there. I'm not taking it down.
Yeah, you don't take it down. It's, you know what? If you wanted to apologize, give the parent apology. This hurts me more than it hurts you. You still got your ass whooped.
Hmm.
Even though mom and daddy come say, this hurts me more than it hurts you. They ain't taking them licks off your ass back. No, they still there. You still warm. So you know what? Hey, leave that track out there, and just say, hey, it hurts me to do this, but hey, you leave me no choice, and leave it at that. There's an apology, and
And
you're
it's
still leaving it there.
a
That
constant,
that
and it's a reminder. Like
yeah,
it's here. I'm capable of doing this. Well, I mean, we know he's
exactly.
capable of doing it, but that way it's out there. So you always got to think about it because now, as quickly as the music cycle and everything goes now with this fast-paced society, people will forget about it. Like, oh yeah,
Yep,
damn, he did have that song. He did delete it. So
yep. And
I don't know.
then where you can't come back from it is, okay, so say Kendrick does drop something now. You done already apologized and took your track down. You can't come with another one because what? Oh, you just gonna say this and take this back? No. Or now you done gave your true feelings. Yeah, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. So now we know that we're not gonna get a response from you again. So if Kendrick does come back and drop something and he comes at you and he comes at Drake, hey, the only one that we can potentially get something back from is Drake. And again, as I stated too, the length of time that it's now taking Kendrick to respond, is anybody even checking for it anymore?
No, I don't think so. But that's a damn good segue into the next one. So if we talking, diss tracks and everything, the funniest, at least it's funny to me only because I saw it over the weekend, but I didn't pay it any attention. Is this damn Chris Brown and Quavo shit? And the funniest thing for me is if you pay attention to music, you pay attention. I'm a Chris Brown fan. Outside of the incident with Rihanna, all that other stuff, I'm a Chris Brown fan. But I will say this: that right there, that's some disrespectful shit. That's a damn good
Whew.
track. He
Whew.
he made sure he listened to everything that everybody was saying about the Drake, the Kendrick and J. Cole. Is how you not mentioning people names and everything. He made sure he put it all out there.
He
So
put a
nobody
stamp on it. He put a stamp on it. He put that young man's name tag, social security number, and date of birth on that. He wanted it known. I'm talking to you, son, to you and only you. Like he put it like, gosh. The thing that gets me is the origin of it.
Mm.
That
That's the part I'm
that
confused on. Like I said, I saw it over the weekend, but I don't. I'm on social media, but I'm not on it like that to be following. So I don't even know where it really started from. But I will say this: it's some damn good music came out, at least on Chris Brown's side.
yeah, I will say that it definitely it's garnered some good music to come from it. I don't want to say or stick to this, but I believe it started or it stems from a beef over exes. At some point, Quavo, if I'm not mistaken, began dating the young lady that Chris Brown used to date, Karuchi Tran. Um, and I think that that's where it all stemmed from. It was the, oh, you got my sloppy seconds, and a whole bunch of stuff from there. It may go a little bit deeper, but I know that they played in a couple basketball tournaments, and or Quavo made mention that he was better than Chris Brown in basketball. I think that that was the case. And there was a celebrity tournament that Chris Brown continuously plays in, and he called Quavo out 2 years in a row. And the term straight up used, "Bring your bitch ass out here, nigga." Straight up. There's an interview out there where 2000, I think it was 2021, and he flat out was like, they were interviewing him after him and his team won, and he was like, "Yeah, there's somebody saying that they're better than you and that they could beat you any day." He was like, "No, yeah, it was Quavo. Yeah, Quavo, bring your bitch ass out here, nigga." Next year, Chris Brown wins again, and he was like, the question came up again. He was like, "Yeah, and I'm saying it again, Quavo, bring your bitch ass out here, nigga." But I think that's also still post Quavo messing around with this young lady, and that's where you get all of this coming from. So everybody's talking about the two songs right now, but there were two songs before this. So maybe about a week or so ago, or a week and a half ago, there's a track with um, Jordan Lucas, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, and T Grizzly called "Freak,"
Mhm.
of which at that point, Chris Brown went at him. He flat out said, how did he say? He says, "I sipped that 1942 because I don't fuck with Quavo," but putting a wordplay on Jose Cuervo, but I don't fuck with Quavo. And then further around, a little bit later in the bars, he made mention. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up and find it. But he made mention basically saying that his girl don't. Hold on, let's see. Says freak bitch, she like Casamigos, not the Migos. So he shot at him right then and there, and then just kind of like right now, what we're experiencing in this week, where Chris Brown dropped Devastation, and then Quavo comes and drops another weak ass track. Quavo drops another weak track called Tender, and basically trying to play on the fact of calling Chris Brown being tender over the young lady that is the mention. It was weak. It garbage to say the least. Dumpster juice. Like, why'd you even waste your time? It leads us to today. I mean, over the weekend we got hit with the weak link
Yeah.
track, weakest link track, and all I can say is, damn, that boy is mad. Damn. I mean, no qualms about it. You could say that man stood in the paint and he said every last verse, every last bar with his entire chest. He meant that. And at this point, it's nothing that can be said in a booth.
Nothing.
It is nothing that can be said in the booth. You can go get Don King, get Eddie Hearn, get Al Heyman, get Top Rank, get CompuBox, get the WBC on the line. These cats got to come to fisticuffs. That's just the bottom line to it. It's some shit that you can say to a person and you can get your lick back, but there's some things that you can say to a person and you can never come back from it. And the stuff that this young man said in this song, you can't come back from that. Like it's gotta come to blows, and I hate that in the community, to see two brothers have to do that, but they got to fight. Ain't no way. Nah, you got to see me, bro.
It's crazy because I wish I could remember where it is. It's in Russia, but essentially, Chris Brown scorched the earth. He's just like, ain't nothing should grow here for
Yeah.
next 5-10 years, because then Quavo dropped that bullshit ass response with Takeoff in it, and I'm just like, now that's some weak shit that you go,
Mm-hmm.
that rest of the day, you go get your dead partner, put him in the song, and then
Yeah.
the song's still weak. It's just like
Yeah.
it, you're gonna you're gonna have to just keep going till you get it right, because nothing you say is gonna come back from, because you're just recycling. You calling him a crackhead, you're saying he beat up Rihanna, all that other stuff. Like, okay, we got that. But again,
Which and even
so
him bringing mention to that, okay, Chris immediately says, "Hey, you can quit talking about that." But the fact of the matter is, you hit a female too, and it's on video, and that video came out to the world, and it did. 'Cause I remember him hitting the young, I believe it was Sweet. So however I can't, I always mess that chick's name up, Sweetie or Sweetie or however you say her name. Um, yeah, and in that elevator, and at the end of the day, we thought, hey, this dude is canceled. Lo and behold, God bless the dead, and I hate that things happened the way that it did, but I think that that's kind of took the limelight away from that whole incident occurring,
mhm.
is the fact of Takeoff being murdered. So yeah, you can sit there and say that he beat up Rihanna, but you beat up Sweetie or Javi. I hate when they do awkward shit like that with their names, Sweetie or however you say it. But yeah, you dumbing her up too, bro.
And the crazy thing is, and it's not to try to pacify what Chris Brown did with Rihanna, nothing like that.
Right, not at all.
You talking
Do
about
not
something that
condone
he
it.
did when he was what, 16, versus
Yeah.
something that you did as a grown man
Hmm.
on full well what the hell you were doing and all that other stuff. There's not one is better than the other. It's just
No, no sin is greater than the other. Both of you are equally wrong.
but
One hundred percent, you're both wrong in that aspect. But I can tell you one thing about it. Quavo was wrong for getting in the booth and messing with him, and even putting that crap out. It puts me in the mindset of Red's daddy off of Friday. I don't know why you come over here messing with these good people. Like, man, how the fuck did you go mess with him? Have you not seen? Granted, yes, the boy can sing, but have you not seen him get in the booth and go at people before? Why would you go mess with him? You don't even rap to that caliber. Nothing the Migos has ever put out, nothing Quavo has ever put out says to me that, hey, if it comes to a rap beef, he can defend himself. What you need to do, go find Aubrey and align yourself with the people that are writing the songs for Aubrey and get them to help you out because you need it.
he needs something. I mean, somebody in this camp. This is where the yes men need to
Yeah,
shut the hell up, and you need some real people in your life tell you, like, yeah, let's set up a boxing event, charity, something like you, because
yeah, man.
it's gonna be next to impossible for him to come back from that. I don't know what else you're gonna do.
You can't. You
It's
can't. The track that his response track is trash. It's it's over. It's nothing you can. Man, it is nothing you can say at this point. He don't have it. He
no,
doesn't have it. And I don't believe that there's anybody within their camp that can give it to him.
not not Offset. Not, I mean, it's
No.
I don't know. Maybe go get Cardi to write for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Nah, I don't even know where he can go in that quality control camp to get somebody to like. I, Jeez, I don't even think little baby could do it for him. Like nobody in that quality control camp strikes me as the type that can, put out diss records to go at nobody.
It's crazy. I mean, it was just funny. That's all I can say is that you really sat up there, tried to play around, let somebody in your camp gas your head up and tell you, yeah, you could do this, you could do this. No, you better stop listening to them people. Get them out your circle because they they mean no good to you at all. To let you
Yeah, I just actually I just told one of the young cats that actually had on the show that I keep in constant communication with. I just told him the other day, be careful who you take in the studio with you. Watch the folks that you keep around you.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Well, what you mean, OG?" And that's what he called me. He's younger than I am, but that's what he says. What you mean? What you mean, OG? And say, if you want to test my theory, what I mean, I want you to go in the studio the next time, and I want you to purposely just purposely bomb the track. It's gonna cost you some money because of the simple fact you're gonna be wasting a little bit of time. But I want you to purposely bomb the track. And if and you know that you bombed this track, and the people around you are telling you, "Yo, that's the one, fat. That's the one. That's that shit right there." Kick all the asses out. I need all y'all to leave right now. But we all right. I don't care. I'll catch a lift. I'll get an Uber. Get out. But if they sit there and they tell you, "Hey man, I don't know what you on tonight or what pack you done smoke, but this shit ain't it," you keep them folks around you. And I say that to say, whoever was in that studio, whoever the producer was, whoever the engineer was, all their asses need to be fired. If they let him, "Oh, this the one, Quay, this the one. Yeah, you gonna kill him with this one." Nah, bro. Ain't no motherfucking way you thought that was gonna come through and hit. No, absolutely not. That man said that the world wishes that it was you
That's
instead of Takeoff.
whew,
Bro,
he ain't going to sleep.
bro,
Quavo not gonna sleep for the next week because
bro.
I don't know. You got to do some diabolical. You got to do some 50 Cent, Rick Ross type shit to
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
even with this dude after that. You gonna find his baby mother, take her shopping, some crazy.
You're gonna have to do something like I- you're gonna have to pop up with his kid. Like you're gonna have to pull some Russell Wilson type shit, like taking it, taking it to a dance, a daddy daughter dance, or some like it's dude. No, you can't. He can't come back from that. He absolutely cannot come back from that. I don't believe. I won't even say I don't believe. He cannot come back from that. He gonna have to show me. I ain't from Missouri, but he gonna have to show me. 'Cause
Uh,
that ain't it.
so I will say the interesting thing being that the music industry and everything is so kind of small. Like it's gonna be some wild shit when they run into each other. It's gonna be
Yeah,
wild,
like
wild.
Fashion Week, 100%. Which he mentioned in the song, Fashion Week. They set them two next to each other, and it's like you knew that it was bad blood then. And he just said, if it wasn't for the fact that I didn't want to fuck up my bag, he didn't want to mess up the money because he was getting paid to be there. He said, I would have broke your face then. He does not like this guy, and there's one thing I can say about Chris Brown. If he come at you and he go at you, he stand on it.
Yeah,
And he stood on this dude's throat.
with both feet and said,
Yes, sir.
hit him with the line from Rocky. If he dies, he dies. It's just
Man, and that boy is dead. He is done.
so. Let me ask you this: so before we wrap up or anything. So you're in the Jacksonville area and everything. How things out there? I mean, because I know the last
Mm,
one of the times we talked about the
Man, it's quiet.
Mhm,
It is majorly quiet. Like all of that drill stuff and beef stuff that was going on, it has died down. I'll say what I feel is some of the unfortunate stuff. Some of these cats are now locked up.
mhm,
Some of them are unfortunately deceased. Um, but it is definitely it's dried up. You know that these cats still don't like one another, but it's not like it was. And it's just literally, I think that at some point it kind of registered, you know what? I'm watching these caskets drop.
mhm,
I'm watching these bodies fall. Ain't nobody left. Only people that are left, they ain't even made it out of elementary school yet. So hey, I'm not trying to see them go.
mhm,
So it's kind of it's dried up, and most of them have gotten to a point to where I think that they've realized, you know what? Let me just go make my money and keep moving. Let me go drop my music and keep moving. It may be a little subliminal here and there, but that's about it. And I think the last time this what's the guy, Fulio, I
mhm,
think the last time that they came at this cat was a true eye opener for him. They didn't miss this time, but in Darren blew his foot off,
oh,
and I think that kind of truly woke him up some, and I pray that it did, and that he's moving differently. Um, Another guy, a prominent guy from here, that moved away, but unfortunate circumstances, he had to come home for a funeral. And I just mentioned a couple of days ago that I don't blame him. But he got locked up for being a convicted felon with a firearm. Well, history shows anytime he comes back to the city or somewhere remotely close to it to even do a show, it's getting shot up.
mhm,
Granted, I just mentioned earlier, hey, you have your entourage with you and you have your people tooled up to defend you in that regard. Don't catch your body on your own. But I also believe that sometimes who can defend me better than me?
mhm,
And what if they don't fire off before y'all can, what if they fire off before you guys can pull? If I got it on my person, I can almost say that I can knock a black eye off of a pea. I'm that good, and I feel if that's the mentality and that's the skill set you got, I trust me over anybody else that I've hired to protect me, and they come at this cat. So quite naturally, I respect the fact that he had it on him to protect himself, but understand what you put yourself at jeopardy of, once within this state. And I know Florida is very, very heavy on convicted felons or felons possessing firearms. I'm not sure about other states like that, how serious they hold it, but if you know that those are the circumstances that you could be facing, it's catch 22. You don't do it to keep yourself free, but also at the same time, if you don't do it, are you going to keep yourself alive? So, but to go back to the original question, it's the drill scene down here is not like it was. The cats that were, going at each other's necks, they're not spitting and dropping stuff like that anymore. I think everybody's just more so, hey, let me stack my bread.
yeah. So is it does it worry you at all that it could kick up again, or do you think it's? I mean, because we can never say never, but for the most part, are you? I don't even know how to phrase it, but do you think it's? Do you really think it's gone? Do you think it's dead? Maybe
I
that
don't
be.
think it's I don't think it's dead. I don't
Okay.
think it's dead, and I think that potentially what we're experiencing now with these bigger artists, your Kendricks, your J. Cole's, your Drakes, your Chris Browns, your Quavos, your big time mainstream artists, and seeing the beefs ignite the way that they are, Yeah, matter of fact, we didn't even mention Rick Ross had his ring in the hat, threw his hat in the ring with all of that too. But seeing that, it could drum it back up for these kids, because that's what the vast majority of them are, kids.
Mhm.
That instead of you fighting it out, throwing hands, you guys are shooting it out and you're putting it on wax and you're using your talents, misusing your talents. But I think that it could potentially spark it back up because they're like, oh shoot, these cats going at each other and they putting it out there. Hey, let's go back at it. I don't like this cat. Oh, all right, let's put it on wax. Let's put it out there. They very well could. I believe that it could. Um, I won't say that it scares me.
Mhm.
I won't say that it scares me, but if it's healthy, I think that beef could be good. If
Okay.
it's good, healthy beef, and I think that that's what I've kind of like too with some of Jill Scott's takes in regards to you know these cats. When J Cole dropped his dropped his track, Jill Scott came out and was like, "Hey, I'm here to just chew on some of this beef because it's two brothers that just spit. They're not out there trying to kill one another." And I think that that's the difference between what happens mainstream, with the exception of what just happened and transpired between these two, Chris Brown and Quavo. Again, I think there may be some bloodshed in regards to that one, but these kids here, that's what they're about. They're about the bloodshed. They're not quote unquote about the music.
Mhm.
They're telling on themselves in the music, but they're more so they want the fame for the bodies. And that part, it troubles me. It doesn't scare me, but it troubles me.
Okay. So I'll say this, so to circle back to what we were talking about. I know there's a long list of diss tracks. And
Yeah.
so, but where would you, I don't see it being number one, nothing like that, but where would you put this Chris Brown diss track? So you can, you got your, because, and the only reason I ask that is because Chris
How
Brown,
far back are we going?
to as far back as you want to go, because I would say for me, the way Chris Brown did it was reminiscent of No Vaseline
No
and
Vaseline. Yeah.
stuff like that. So where would you place that in there?
It definitely be up there with No Vaseline. It would definitely be up there. It would be up there with um it'd be up there with Hit 'em Up. It'd be up there with Who Shot You. It definitely be up there. I can't put a number on it, but
Okay.
it's in that realm to where it's 100%. That's up there with No Vaseline.
Okay.
No, and those that may hear this, I pray that you know what we're referring to when we say the song No Vaseline. If you do not know it, go look it up. In the day and times that we reside in, go get on YouTube it, and listen to it. And then when you hear that and you listen, it's up there. It is definitely up there with that.
Oh no, well, I just had to ask that because I was thinking about that earlier, and I was just like, "This is." I haven't heard you haven't heard something
Oh,
that straightforward rap. I mean, and the crazy thing is that let me know how you feel about this. The fact that it's coming from, although when it comes to the R&B cast, Chris Brown to me is in his own lane because he can do
mm-hmm.
so
He
many
can do
things
both.
that he do them well, and he does them well.
Mm,
But
yes.
do you think that it's how do you think the rappers are really looking at it now that you had a quote unquote R&B cat come out and drop the hardest diss track in probably years?
Yeah. That is. Hopefully, it'll make him look like I got to step my game up.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it'll inspire some of them. Hopefully, it'll encourage some of them. So, hopefully, it will be that spark that needs to get the rap game back to where it needs to be. But I, I'm just sitting here in my mind and just thinking on and replaying the things that were said, and it's like, wow. As Aubrey mentioned a while back, dude got bodied by a singing nigga.
Yeah.
Like goodness gracious. Yo, he yeah, he did it. He did it to him, and I I hope it wakes the rap community up, and it's like, yo, if this kid is doing this, we got to step it up majorly. They definitely have to step it up, and they got to be able to bring it going forward.
Well, you know what? I just say this. I appreciate you for coming on with me because, like I said, I just hit you up today, and I said, you know what, this is the perfect time to jump out there because, you know, for those that know or don't know, I can talk music. I usually don't do music unless it's, you know what I mean, something that I really want to talk about. But I appreciate you, like I said, for hey jumping on and saying, you know, you could have said, hey, next week or something else. You said, nah, you said, I got you. I'm gonna, you know, dust the mic over. We gonna get to it. So I definitely appreciate you for coming on and giving me some time to discuss.
Nah, no worries, bro. No worries. Anytime, man. Anytime.
No, we definitely, like I said, we definitely do this again. Like I said, I like to, you know, bring on new people, but I'm also like to stay in tune with my people at the
For
same
sure.
time. So again, Red, you know, if you got anything, you know, that you want to promote, anything you want to, you know, say before we jump off here, hey, floor is yours.
No, man. I mean, again, just my thanks and gratitude for you even reaching out and wanting to have me on with you, man. So that definitely thank you for that. Nothing to plug at this time. I'm just me. As the name says, I'm just Red. That's just me right now. You can call it a hiatus. I'm just up in the air, but I'm always available. And anytime you want to have me on, bro, I'm here.
All right, hey, so you know, like I said, you know, we're gonna end there again. Like I said, I'm working my way back up to, you know, putting out more content and stuff. You can find me everywhere that we need to talk 23 pod, Instagram, TikTok. I don't do Facebook. I don't do X. So, you know, those are the two main places where you can find me. Um, you know, hey, stay tuned. I got more stuff coming. I'm working. The wheels are starting to move now. So I'll definitely be back with more content and stuff for you all. Again, thank you, Red, for coming on and like I said, having this conversation.